Greetings. Welcome back to another cup of conversation with me, Nidra Simmons. I am coming on with you on a Saturday morning, and I am coming on to just flow. I am coming on to have a cup of conversation and perhaps some food for thought. The direction that I would like to go in on this morning is just like a trip through the past years up until now. When I first came on here, well, not live, but when I first came onto the internet and started posting my videos, it was over a year ago. Had no idea what I was going to do or what I was doing. I was just sitting there one day and it was like, okay, I need to go buy this. I need to go get this. I need to go get that. Had no idea why I need to get it. But I went ahead and I was obedient. I listened and I got it. So I got it and I started meditating in front of the camera or the tablet, whatever I had at the time, the telephone, and I would just start talking. I thought that I had to write a visual diary, but as I started talking, there were things I was talking about, and I'm like, oh, ooh, oh, wow, I didn't know that. Things started coming together, and things started making sense. So I said, you know what? Not my will, but your will, Mother, Father, Universe, God, Elohim. Your will be done in my life. So that is what I just flowed with and just went. So I said, okay, well, then you know what, God, I work for you. I am a vessel created in your image. So you can use me as you see fit. God, the only one God, the same God that was here yesterday, today, forevermore. God Elohim, God that created heaven and earth, God that created the great I am God. Okay. I'm not trying to say any other God other than the only God. Elohim, Mother, Father, Universe, God, that is within us and that is around us. And I say it like that because I originally lived in Connecticut. And then I moved down here to North Carolina. And the way that I was raised and how I believed God to be was not what I was seeing down here. So I just, took it as an opportunity to listen and to learn. And that's what I did. I just watched, learned, observed, and I never let go my beliefs of what I believe God to be. I just observed. And then there were some things that I agree with, and there were some things that I did not agree with. And I'm like, wow, I didn't know that you did that. But religion is something that has been changed over the years because it became a man thing. It's not a God thing. God is spiritual. And I say spiritual because religion can't go through you. Spiritual stuff can. And I learned to believe that God that we used to pray for being out there on top of the world is in us. Um, a person or the devil can't be everywhere all at one time. God, which is a spirit, God, the creation, Mother, Father, universe, can. So I started looking at things, and when things started making sense to me, that's when I started going with those things. I stopped believing what people were telling me because I didn't understand it. It didn't make no sense. But these lives, you guys are usually going to get a bunch of stuff together. So if you have any questions and you want me to direct it, I will do it that way. But other than that, I'm going to flow and whatever I feel God is telling me to say, I will say. Whatever direction it's going, I'm going to let it flow. And hopefully, my intentions is to send this out to someone that needs it, someone that is in need of deeper understanding, for someone that might need a push in the right direction, for someone that just needs to know that they're not by themselves. Everything that I come on and talk about on the internet is with the intentions to helping others for the better. Now, if it triggers somebody along the way, believe it or not, it's helping you too. So there is probably something that you are dealing with that you have not yet overcome. Perhaps you're dealing with jealousy. Perhaps you're dealing with envy. Or perhaps you just are dealing with the fact that um, You're not happy with you. Either way, it's a sign for you to take that opportunity to meditate and to think about what it is, or even, ask God, your inner God, what is it that is causing me to be triggered by something that this person is saying? What is it that you want me to learn? What is it that you want me to take away from? What is it that is causing me to feel this way? And help me to resolve it. Um, I've learned in my life that we have all types of people. And I've learned, especially with working with little kids, that there's a lot of things and emotions that these children go through, but they don't have the right person to dissect or help them categorize what it is that they're feeling so that it makes sense when they're dealing with it. Yeah, I don't mind my cup. It's spilled over, so it's looking kind of messy. But I noticed, like, all right, the kids that I teach, when I'm around them, they act a different way than when I'm not around them. I've witnessed how kids act in the classroom when they're with another teacher, and then when I come in, I see how they act when I'm in the classroom. And I was beginning to take it personally because the kids tend to be more emotional when I'm in the classroom. And I'm like, what is going on? The way this world is set up, people are often thinking the negative when things don't work out in the favor because you got other people that help add to that. So as I was sitting here, and I like to meditate on things and understand why things are what they are. I like to do a lot of self-examination to make sure that I'm in the right spirit. To make, because I don't want to come out and cause any pain on nobody else. That is not my intentions. Never is that my intentions. Um, but we trigger people. So I was like, okay, so let me see. Let me look further. And I said, God, what is it that's causing me to do this? And then I had a conversation with somebody else, and they were telling me, they would share with me something, and along the lines of sharing, they said the words that I have compassion, and the kids just want to love on me. So then that explained that kind of let a bell in my mind. I was like, oh, okay, okay. So the love that I have, the love that I say that I am, is felt by children, and it may not be felt by adults because they're covered with all these other emotions and feelings, like I mentioned earlier, that will cause triggers. But these children are innocent. They feel the love and they want the love. So when they see me, they tend to cry more. They tend to want like 20 million hugs a day. And I'm like, well, you know what? That's not a bad thing. If I am touching children in that way too, and I keep this strictly straight, I ain't touching the children no other kind of way. But if I am causing the children to want to feel love, to want to be hugged, to express how they feel, and sometimes they probably can't cry at home. Kids, if you got more than one, cry if you want to. Parents be saying, don't you open up your mouth to cry, suck it up. That is probably something these kids are used to hearing at home. And for them to come around me and just cry to release, and when I say they release, they bawling really loud. Sometimes there's no tears, but it's the emotion and the feeling of just letting it out. And I'm like, you know what? That's not a bad thing. So if there are other teachers out there and they're witnessing that these kids are crying and they want hugs all the time, that is not a bad thing. That simply means that you are real about what you say and who you are if you relate yourself to love. And I relate myself to love. I am everything love. The only thing that I'm struggling right now is, have I really been loved? I know how to give it. I can truly say I've never received it quite like the way that I give it. So that is why I bring up the question, have I really been in love? But anyway, let me digress and go back to the topic at hand. We were talking about the love that's in an individual that the children can feel, the children can see. It's to the point where kids are asking me, how are you doing today, Miss Simmons? Are you okay? Or if I get a little um, uh, annoyed, what's wrong? What's wrong, Miss Simmons? I'm laughing because I can see the particular child that would say that to me. But I'm saying all this to say, for all of you compassionate teachers out there, don't get upset or short-winded because other folks, grown folks, tend to make something that is uh, lovable change you into something that's not. Um, a lot of kids can't be free at home, and some can. And it's not to say anything about the parents because we all are raised differently. It has everything to do with how that child feels. And kids really can't express themselves the way they want to with everybody. I happen to be someone that the kids express themselves with, whether it's anger, love, laughter, crying, speaking their mind, forgetting that they're not their age and speaking freely with words. We bring that out of our children. Um, it's in them. And as teachers and parents or guardians, it is our goal to try to bring out the best in these children. And it doesn't take much other than patience and understanding and to feel what they're feeling. These children cannot tell you how they're feeling. I'm learning that some grown folks can't tell you how they're feeling. So if you grown and you can't express and tell somebody how you feel, how you expect these babies to do it? And they're learning from you. So I'm coming on to, like I said, I'm flowing. And whatever comes out, comes out. But I do, I use a lot of my personal examples to help you all out there because I don't have any feedback coming to me to say, oh, talk about this. So I trust God and my spirit team to direct me on what to say and how to say it and control how much I say so that you all are getting the information out there. But saying that all to say, my glasses are crooked, y'all. Can't help that. But I'm saying all this to, I may make more crickets so I can see. But I'm saying all that to say, children are innocent and they're pure, so they can feel a lot of things from people. They don't have that filter. They don't have that mask that we develop over the years to try to make us strong. So let's not get short with the children. And I'm speaking to you as well as I'm speaking to myself because I have a lot of kids in my classroom, 21 kids. And it's a lot at times. And plus, I'm an adult dealing with my own emotions too. And just because I'm an adult don't mean that I can't express or have feelings or go through emotions. Whoever said that is a bull-faced liar. Adults, if you're working with children, you have to deal with your emotions and you got to keep your emotions in check. And then you got to deal with the kids. And kids have emotions, multiple emotions. And you have to maintain and deal with those emotions um, as well as control the atmosphere as much as you can. And then you have the grown folks out there that don't like you, that throw the darts and stuff at you too. So you're dealing with a whole bunch. You're on the battlefield every day. By the time you come home, you're tired and wondering why you're tired because you have been spiritually dealing with so much stuff that the naked eye cannot point out to you, but your emotions sure can. And that combined together can make a real tired person. And it don't help when you got adults that don't want to have the compassion to try to encourage you to do the right thing. Instead, they just want to be negative. So now I'm directing this to the parents. Parents, you have teachers that are with your children all day long, doing the best that they can with your children and other children. Stop expecting miracles to take place and your child to be a psychic, or not psychic, um, to be a lot more than what they really are. Children are going to do whatever they can do in front of their parents because they want to improve. They want to impress their parents. But they're doing the best that they can at the level that they are. They're children. And what I'm learning today is that we're giving these children so much responsibility, so much stuff to learn at a very early age. We're jumping from playtime to serious. You need some in between to connect it. And we're not doing that in a lot of the educated atmospheres. I'm not knocking the education field. We all need it. I'm simply sharing some thoughts, some food for thought, and a cup of conversation. So all this is a cup of conversation and some food for thought. And I'm just sharing some things that other people might not want to tell people. But because you don't want to hear it, does that mean it doesn't exist? It exists, boogies. It exists. Whether you want to hear it or not. If it hurts your feelings, just say ouch and learn from it. We don't need to take everything so personal. We don't need to take everything so personal to the point to where we want to get somebody out of a position or out of character. We are here to help one another. So parents, be kind to your teachers, to your kids' teachers, because they're teaching your children and other children. And they're doing the best that they can to teach the children. On top of all of the responsibilities that they have to have as a teacher in that classroom. Your teachers are students, and they're students for many people. They don't just have one boss, they have many. And they have to maintain a attitude or a way of being that is pleasant for all of them. You parents that work out there, you get mad at a job, you're gonna curse somebody out. If not, if you don't, you can compose yourself. Good for you. But for those who can't, can you imagine how others have to do it and still be on uh, a stage per se? Let's be mindful of how we treat one another. Let's be mindful of all of the burdens that we put on people for no apparent reason. Why are y'all snapping at your teachers for your children and y'all barely do half of what the teachers do for your children? Ouch. If it hurts, I'm sorry. Not intending to, but just being honest. Parents, teachers love your children for the most part. I'm speaking for myself. All the children that I work with and teach, I love my children that I work with. All of the ones that I've started out to till now. And it brings me pleasure to see that. I see every now and then some of my students come on and see what I have to say. Which reminds me, I got to keep it clean. But that just lets me know that I've left an impression on them. And I hope that I leave positive impressions on them so that they would like to discover more stuff about them. That they can remember me as someone that was truthful and honest. If you don't remember me for nothing else, remember me for being truthful and honest. Because that's what I strive to be. Respectful as well. But we should not have to make nobody's life miserable. I tell the kids when I go in and listen, I'm not here to make your life miserable. Help me, help you, help me. I want you to make my life easy. I'll make your life easy. And we can have fun learning in the process. I promise you. But if you're coming in here with the intentions to make my life miserable, now you're putting more work on me to try to get past that and deal with everything else and to still flow. I know some of you probably saying, hey, that's a job of a teacher. You chose to do it. You do it. Listen, be glad you have teachers out there that want to help your children. Don't make it hard for people not to want to be there to teach your children because a lot of the children are getting not as much as they should because of the way that the education field has or is turning out or it is affecting people. There's a large turnout. I went on LinkedIn and I see there's a large turnout of teachers. They're leaving the school system. If I didn't say it already, there is music playing in the background. I do not own the rights to the music. And I think this would be a good time for me to stop, digress, give God the glory. I want to give honor and glory to God, Mother, Father, Universe, Elohim, for being so awesome and so wonderful, for waking us up this morning and seeing us throughout the day, for giving us food and nourishment for our bodies. I pray, Lord, that you protect the hands of those that prepare food that we have to eat so that the food is prepared out of love or just safeness and it's nourishment to help the body, to heal the body, to help the body grow. Thank you, God, for new grace, new mercies in which we receive daily. Thank you for providing for us mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, financially, in every way possible. Thank you for just being so wonderful and so awesome and just loving us so much, loving us when those out there don't love us, loving us back to loving us, back to loving us to ourselves. And thank you, God, for love. Thank you, God, for love. Say it one more time. Thank you, God, for love. Because, God, love is awesome. Love is wonderful. Love is kind. Love is all things at every time. So thank you, God, for just being so wonderful. And those who are traveling to and from work today or any destination, allow them to make it to and from their destination safely. Thank you, Lord, for just being so patient and peaceful and always being there and never giving up on us. Thank you for knowing us better than we know ourselves. Thank you for being the God that's in us. So we all have an opportunity to feel you, to know you, to see you, to experience you, to express you. Thank you to our big brother, Jesus, to all the archangels, guardian angels, angels in the highest, Christ light, ancestors, guardian ancestors, spirit team, here and far, Holy Spirit. Because we are not here on this planet by ourselves. We have people and spirits and well, spirits, God, that you place with us daily so that we can continue to move forward in the direction in which you desire us to move in because you love us so much. You love us so much that we're never alone. Even when we can't see you or the team you put in place for us, we know that you are there. So thank you again and forever grateful, show much gratitude forever and always. Amen. All right. Another I woosad and digress. And if you feel like you go through the days and you just want to get to the point to where you might get a little bit too excited because people don't want to take the time to understand that sometimes people's tone raises because they have mad compassion. Um, Stop and thank God for where you are, and just take a deep breath in and a deep breath out, and to move forward. So I hope I'm not getting off yet, but I hope I'm saying some things that are helpful. I hope that you all out there can relate to what I'm saying. Um, and for those who have taken the time to come and see about me, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate all the likes. I appreciate all of the, even if you're just scrolling through and see my face for a second, I appreciate that too. But thank you for taking the time to come see about me. Also, I started off by saying that, or I labeled on the YouTube that this was going to be a stroll from the past up until now. We're in December. We're in the calendar year of the end of the year. And this year has gone by pretty fast. Um, Towards the end half of the year, the beginning half of the year, slow. I came in with the beginning, I came in last year with the anticipation of things being so much better. But I've learned that I had still a lot of things that I had to overcome and a lot of things that I had to forgive, a lot of things that I had to prove that I was over before I can move forward. So it started from last year, the beginning of this year, and I believe I caught it the middle half of this year. And I give God the glory for that because God is not going to give you more than what you can bear. And that is the same along the lines of if you're not ready, no matter how much you may want something, if God feels you're not ready, Bookie, you're not going to be ready. You're not going to get it. You're not going to receive it because God don't want you to waste it. And if you've been around a lot of people that had their hands out, and if I could put my feet up here too, they'll have it out. All of the takers and all of the ones that want to grow off of you, or all the ones that know that they don't have what you have. And when you come around, they feel what you have and try to take what you have for their own. If you've been around a whole lot of that, you're not going to get what God wants from you for you to have until you are away from these people. And it's even a double threat if you don't even know that this is what these people are doing. I have been around those type of people all my life. And most of my life, I did not even know that that's what they were doing. I had dealt with low self esteem like it was a plague, like it was a disease, all because I didn't know who I was. But trust and believe, I know who I am now. And it took years, when I say years, of going through battles and wars and fight and things that you can't see with the naked eye, through in the present realm, through the spiritual realm, through dreams, through people, spirits jumping into people, following me all of my life. followed me because you're not going anywhere else with me now. The buck stops here. Um, it was hard to be able to have to go, not to be able. It was hard. My life was hard. My life was hard. But one thing I did develop over the years is that I will not let people see how I really feel, what I'm really going through, because I started to think that that's what they wanted to see. I felt like they all come around heavy when they think that I'm down. So people used to ask me, why did I come to North Carolina? All places, North Carolina, Williamston, North Carolina at that. Okay, my location. But anyway, why did I come here? There's nothing here. Absolutely nothing for the naked eye here. But my move here woke me up. It woke me up. Woke me wide slam smacking up. And I'm telling you, that's what it did. Williamson, North Carolina, woke my tail up. If I was ever sleeping, I am not sleep no more. It took a long time to get here because, like I said, I came here without the help. So I thought. I didn't have a person here to say, okay, this is that, this is this is that, this is this. No, I had to go through it head on. My forehead kind of flat because I got banging my head going through stuff head on. I'm serious. It was no joke. And if I had to do it all over again, would I? If it's to help people, I would. But I don't want to. So don't ask me to. Don't suggest to because I don't want to. I have went through enough. I am ready now to just flow. I'm ready now to just enjoy the life that God has for me. I am ready to help those who went through what I went through to know that you're not by yourself. This too shall pass. Joy will come in the morning. Don't ask me what morning, but stay strong, stay focused, stay on that path, that straight and narrow path, the path that people don't like to travel. For those who chose that path, don't give up. I repeat, don't give up. For the people in the back, don't give up because if you finish it out, the rewards will be awesome in the end. All it is doing is making you stronger, giving you character, making you able to see all the things that people think you don't see. It makes you a better person. So yeah, don't give up. Constantly love yourself, constantly forgive yourself and release. Forgive yourself and release. Forgive yourself and release. I tend to say things in threes. Just a habit. But do that. Forgive yourself. And when you release, you're releasing all of the anger, all of whatever's attached to it, all of whatever it is that might give the other person control over you. Call back your power. I've called back my power, my energy. I'm giving it to me. I deserve it. I went through a lot of things head on without even knowing. I've I've driven down one. Well, I can't even speak. I've driven down one lane roads, and the opposite, not even seeing the signs. But I'm still here. I've dealt with so much in the relationship department, but I'm still here. And I might touch on that too. But like I said, this is a smorgasbord of information when I come live because I'm flowing live and whatever comes out, comes out. For those of you who are interested in seeing more of me, I am on YouTube. Nidra Simmons is my name. Um, if you type that in, you should be able to find me. I am on Instagram. I am a owner of a small business, which y'all can help me make it big someday. Purchase some stuff. But I make jewelry. But I do a lot of things. It's entitled Designs by Nidra, but the Designs by Nidra is a broad topic because I can do many things. But that one is for designing jewelry. Unique pieces with you in mind, pieces that will describe you, not like what you can find anyplace else. Although people can make it, but it's still uh, jewelry pieces designed uniquely with you in mind. I have on the earrings that are from my brand, or that I put together. But I also I'm on Instagram too for Totally Over It, and that was supposed to be the platform to where we can discuss anything and talk about anything, and how we can talk about it at this point because we're over it. Um, I am also on Facebook, Nidra Simmons, I believe as well. But I think I might have one on Instagram with Nidra Powell. But either way, Nidra Powell Simmons is my name, and you see my face. I don't think I'm up there where people are copying my information, but if they are, I don't ask you guys for money. I'm doing this because I want to help people. If you want to donate money to me, then you can on YouTube, but I do not ask for money. I do not um, go out and promote for you to give me money. Well, my business for jewelry, I'm selling jewelry. So when you see me, you getting that. You got to pay for that. But I do not ask for money. I don't solicit any of that stuff. I don't do any type of other type of divination stuff. I just come on and I channel. I speak to you with my experiences and whatever God leads me to talk about. So I am a child of God. I love God. I serve God, the God that sent me and the God that surround me, the God that is love. I am made in his image, therefore I am love. So those are the avenues that you can find me. I'm on LinkedIn too. So y'all looking for someone to go out there and promote and speak, hook a sister up. Let me know. I'll come out and speak, providing that the topic is to encourage and help others. Um, I can do that too. But anyway, I put my little commercial in there. I don't know how that came in, but let me go back in to discuss something else. Um, what was I talking about? Got off a path. All right, get back on. But yeah, let me try to gather my thoughts and bring it back to what I was saying. But yeah, I talked about how we'll take I started off by talking about how I got started. Then we talked about children, talked about love, and talked about how they can feel the love that's in the individual, and they can also feel if you're not good either. So parents, if your child don't want to hug nobody, don't make them hug nobody. They probably sense something with that person that is not kosher. And I'm saying this because I used to do it too. I used to say, people, you speak it to my child because I would go into a store and I would say, my kids would be like, hi, hi. And they won't say nothing. I used to get offended. My baby said, hi, say hi. But if by chance someone say, if someone say, come on, give me a hug, sweetie, how you doing? And the children look at you like, don't make them hug them. Don't make your child hug nobody. They don't feel the need to hug. There is probably something going on at that moment that you can't see that they see that you need to be aware of. Just say it's okay. Maybe they don't feel it today, and keep it moving. Don't make your child hug nobody, and don't be hugging people freely out there too. Stuff can jump onto people. Spirits can jump onto to people. That is a real thing. It's not make believe. Just because you don't believe it, don't mean it don't exist. So the best thing you can do is make yourself aware of whatever situation that's out there. You don't have to go and worship it or do it like that. Just make yourself aware of it. Ask God to guide you in the right path. But being aware of it does not mean being aware of it helps you because you know it's out there, so you know what to protect yourself from. But to ignore it because you don't believe in it or you don't want to hear about it, that's giving yourself a disservice. So, knowledge is power, wisdom is key. Take it, and when you need to get in that door, You're going to have to use that key to open up the door if it's locked. Use that wisdom, that key wisdom, to get through the door. So don't think that it's not going to happen because you don't see it happening. What else I want to talk about? What else should we talk about? Oh yeah, I started talking about relationships. I have been into some relationships, and I had people try to manipulate me in a relationship, but they won't call it manipulation because you pointed out. So let me share these nuggets. If you've been in a relationship with somebody, right, and you tell the person how they feel, and then the person constantly rewords what you say to make it in the favor of what they want to hear, that's manipulation. You have no problem saying what you mean and meaning what you say. But if they don't like it and they want to turn it around, and we do this as adults too, and we do that with our children to try to help us. So when you are that person in a child's life to try to direct them in the right path, ask God for guidance to make sure that you're rerouting the information to the right place so they get the right information. We children learn how to manipulate from the parents, and they start early. You can manipulate as soon as you come out the womb. These babies here, I've had 4 kids, and not one child was turning their head at 2 weeks. 2 weeks. These babies now are babies that's been here before. Our ancestors are coming back through our babies. So, and they're coming back aware of what their job is here on this place. But I'm saying all that to say, men and women can try to manipulate other people in a relationship. And I was in a relationship where I kept feeling like, what is the problem? What something's not right here. Everything I say, you turn around and make it seem like it's something different. And then when I confront you, oh no, I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that. Or if I say something and then we get into an argument, you're repeating what I say. So I'm like, okay, did I say it out loud or did I say it in my head? Because I could have sworn I just said that. So I'm saying all this to say, if you are in a relationship and you're with someone that's constantly changing what you say, or everything you say, oh no, it's a no, it's a no, it's a no, it's a red flag. And if you're in a relationship with someone that is so much on themselves and they say they love you, but they constantly find ways to want to hurt you, that's not normal. Love is a lot of things, but love don't end with hurt. That I do know. If you are in a relationship and somebody say they love you so much, but every time they talk to you or every time they say they want to see you, they want to hurt you. Whether they joking or not, that came out your mouth, you're thinking it. They want to hurt you. People tell us exactly what they want to do, but then they try to change it around and throw stuff in there to make it seem like it's not exactly what it is that they're doing. You said it, I heard it, you meant it. There's nothing wrong with my ears, my mouth, my brain, none of it. Just because you say that's not true, although you said it, Bookie, is true because you put it out there. That goes to say that there's power in words. And I don't want to confuse people because I know I said that there's powers in words. And then when I come back and I may say a curse word, a light curse word, I'll say that that is not a bad word. And what I've learned, words have changed over the years. Manipulators, narcissists, um, controlling people, power tripping people. Those are all words. If I was to put a thesaurus, if I was to make a thesaurus, those would be words that would equal that same one thing. So we give words power, true. But if we are giving commands and direction with our mouth to somebody relating to what you want them to do to change their meaning or whatever the case might be, that's a spell at that point. So we need to be careful and mindful what we say and the intentions of how we say it. But if you have someone that's used to cursing and calling people names and stuff, if it doesn't sit right for you, that's what matters. How it sits for you. If you don't like to be called the B word or the H word or the K word, any of those words, if you don't like it because it doesn't sit right for you and it feels disrespectful for you, and you tell that person that, that should be enough. And that person wants to be with you and claim they love you. That should be enough for them to change their vocabulary when it comes to you. That's not saying change your vocabulary for the whole world. But as me, as an individual, and this is going back to set boundaries, women and men, set your boundaries up front. Those are boundaries set in place, and we need boundaries to make sure that we can get along with one another. Because if you don't, it's a one sided relationship. And then you're not going to get what you need out of it. My grandmother say, uh, unequally yoked or not being on one accord. I hear grandma. My mother's mother, my grandma, she always said, well, when she came to my wedding, and I'm going to say it in her tone, all right, Nidra, you got to be on one accord, Nidra, one accord. And I heard her say that throughout my marriage. And I knew in my marriage we weren't on one accord. But that didn't stop me for trying to put us on one accord. But let me tell you, you can't make somebody do what they don't want to do. You cannot bring, what is it? Can't bring the horse to the water, but I ain't gonna say that. You can take the person out of the hood, but you can't take the hood out of the person. All of that on the same line of one accord. You got to be on one accord to make things work. If you're in a marriage, you need to be on one accord. And what you must have in a marriage is communication. Communication is a must. It's a must. Um, but yeah, I'm all over the place, y'all. But bear with me. I hope I'm helping you all out there. Um, but yeah. Um, I was talking about relationships. And I got into a personal thought. But yeah. Let me help you out there. Manipulation is manipulation, however way you name it. Controlling is controlling, however way you name it. And if you are telling somebody how you feel and they're not listening to what you're saying, then you need to make a decision. Is it within your boundaries or outside your boundaries? Boundaries are put in place for a reason. So do what you think you need to do. Um, but yeah, I couldn't understand how, and it's not just that one. I've been in many relationships where people was trying to hurt me. And I'm like, what? I'm doing everything in my power to make you feel wonderful, to make your life easy. I'm trying to make a safe place for you, and you still want to hurt me, humble me. For what reason? And then I learned, you know what? And this one hit me by with like a ton of bricks. Maybe they can't handle who you are. But how can somebody handle who you are when you don't know who you are? So that goes to say that people can see you before you see you. And that is why I had to come here to wake up because I couldn't see myself up there. The enemy was having a field day keeping me busy. I couldn't tell you what day of the week it was. I was working 3 jobs, y'all. 3 full-time, well, no, 3 jobs. 1 full-time, 2 part-time, and going to school full-time. Raising 4 children. Married to a man. I'm saying all this to say it's not impossible, but I'm saying this to say it was hard. And I thank all of those who out there who helped me along the way in the academic educational portion of my life. I can always say that, I mean, I've always said there's not a lot of people there. There's nobody around for me, but there have been people there that stepped in and helped me when it was needed. And I do believe that was God helping me along the way because I am human on this planet. And there's only but so much that I can do. So, all of those who have helped me back then and now in the academic field, thank you. And I pray that God blesses you with your heart's desires and that God gives you all that you have secretly wanted in the best way for you because you took the time out to help me and you didn't have to. So, thank you. All right. But yeah, I'll talk about relationships. And I'm looking to see if there's any questions. But there's no questions. I see people joining. Thank you for joining. On YouTube, I'm looking for a particular person that usually keeps commenting on the YouTube and making it interesting. Um, but all you out there, thank you so much, thank you so much, thank you so much. Um, Drink the rest of this. And there's really stuff in my cup. People say I don't be drinking nothing. It's in my cup. I'm drinking it. Um, but what else I want to talk about? Yeah, some about relationships. But yeah, if you find yourself in a relationship and they are trying to humble you, that's a red flag. It's a red flag. Um, if you have not put boundaries in place, maybe that is an opportunity for you to put in some boundaries, because you should not be in a relationship and want to hurt somebody, even if it's on the sexual level. You should not want to hurt nobody. You should want to love that person. I mean, you hurt somebody and then you what? You're not going to get it as much as you want to, as long, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to keep it PG. So, why do we hurt one another when we're supposed to be loving one another? So, if that's the case in your situation, it's time to set some boundaries in your favor, not the other person. And be honest, express how you feel to each other so that you guys are on the same page. There's nothing worse than you going through a relationship and and y'all both going on a separate level and thinking different things. If you love that person, you tell that person you love them. If you don't, be honest. I don't love you. I like you, but I don't love you. Or if you love them and then today you like, I don't really like you today, speak it. Express to each other what's going on. And work it out from that point. But don't take on somebody else's um energy. I don't know the right word to say. And recognize individual, man or woman, if you have a gift, if you realize that when people get around you, they feel a certain way, or even if you're in a relationship and within that relationship, other people are rising and you're staying at the same level. Do you know how many relationships I've been in where the other person was rising up and looking better and feeling better? And here I'm sitting here looking like I'm drying up like a prune. And I'm not old. I didn't realize that in the past, but I know now that they were rising up off of my energy. And I was giving it freely. Once I let all that go and start giving myself my own energy, loving myself the way that I want to be loved, treating myself and pampering myself the way that I know I need to and want to and enjoy it to, I started looking better. I started feeling better. I said, wait a minute. Are you serious? Was I doing that for that many years? I went into my marriage looking beautiful, young, vibrant. Over the years, I done chopped my hair off 3 times, looking really unattractive. Looking really bad, if I must say myself. And people were not being honest. Like, I mean, they'll say, well, no, I eat, and it's worse when you have somebody you with tell you, what's going on with you? Why don't you dress in this area? Why don't you dress in this area? Why don't you dress in that area? And they're still looking good and you looking ruggedy. I'm like, and you have the audacity to tell me to do better? That's all along the lines of not knowing what I had when I had it. I was just giving it away. It was just seeping on people, multiple people at a time, because it doesn't necessarily have to be on a relationship that it's coming off of. It can be people you work with. It can be on people that know or see your lights. And you live and you learn. That's all I can say out of that one. You live and you learn. And that one time did I make my heart hard, not towards anybody else. I was being mean to me. I was being hurtful to me. And all I was doing was being good to everybody else. So I have no problem being transparent as long as it's helping people. I don't be transparent for you to come and throw stuff back into my face. But if you feel the need to, trust and believe I'm over it because I am living proof that it can get good. And those are life lessons that I had to learn the hard way. That was me taking the straight and narrow path, less traveled. And I can say all that now because I understand it now. Did not understand it then. I know what I felt then, but I didn't know how to put it into words. So I am here to help you put what you feel into words. Not to say that I know everything. God knows I don't. But I do seek God for guidance and direction. So if I don't know, I'm going right to the source. So we've been on y'all for 50 minutes. So I hope that I was interesting and enlightening to you all out there. I hope that I am helping individuals out there because that is my goal, to help. That's all I want to do is help. And because it's live, I don't even know how much information I done gave out. But I hope it was just enough and not too much information. But I hope that I went from to I hope to mm. But eventually I'll find a way to flow without those little short words or sounds. But in a relationship, you have to love yourself. In a marriage, you have to love yourself. If you're in a long-term relationship, I'm not even gonna say situationship because situationship to me is not really. It's like talking. Back in the days, we just say, "Oh, we messing, we talking," because it's a friendship with benefits. I'm not a fan of that either. I know you got to start somewhere, but I'm not a fan of friends with benefits because we got feelings, and women tend to have feelings more than men. Men claim like they don't understand it. I mean, I'm learning now too that men have just as much feelings as women do, but and they hide it. But I'm learning that I can feel it, whether they choose to admit it or not. But in that situation, you don't want to assume either. You want to hear it because if you assume, what's that saying? Every time you assume, you make a donkey booty out of yourself. So I don't want to assume. I do like to hear it every now and then. But even in that, things have to start somewhere. You don't have to uh, fool around first to find out. You can get to know the person still and find out. Um, what I have learned is life has made me wiser. And life is a lesson that you learn every day. So take heed to those nuggets that you receive throughout the day. Take heed to um, the little nudges that you receive throughout the day. Trust your intuition. Trust your insight. Trust what you're feeling. Your feeling comes from inside, it comes from you, not easily from someone outside. So you should trust it because it's closer to God, it's within you. So trust your feelings, trust your emotions. If you don't know the words to say what you're saying or what you want to say, what you're feeling, feel it and ask God to give you the terminology for it. But you got to feel it. A lot of people don't want to feel. A lot of people don't want to take the time to spend by themselves to feel. You need to do that. You need to stay grounded. It's for you because I've had two moments this week where I felt this burst of energy. And when I tell you, it had me for a loop because I had to get myself to a place where I wasn't really snapping, but I let loose. I'm a mom and sorry, mommy. I love you. I love you, mommy. But she caught me on a day to where my mouth was just letting it flow and I couldn't explain what I was feeling. And she was asking questions to try to help me, but the questions were not the right questions. It was just adding more heat to the fire. And my vocabulary just got real worse. And it wasn't aimed at my mother. Ma, you know that wasn't aimed at you. It was just me going through this emotion at this time. And, things, I'm learning that I'm going through things now new and in present time. So there's things I have not experienced or I haven't really put a cap on it yet. And I have to do that most of the time in front of people. And I have experience with that. Not to say that I don't, but sometimes it catches you off when you're not expecting it. So that's just a level of how much self-control you have. And yeah. So I hope I didn't leave nobody hanging on some of the things that I said. But if I have, feel free to text me to say what you meant by this, or explain that some more, or how did you handle this? But I have no problem sharing or helping, so feel free to. I just ask that you be respectful, because I'm gonna try to be as respectful as I possibly can to you all out there. So until I'm human, and I've learned from years of turning the cheek, top cheek, low cheek. I am out of cheeks to turn. So what you see is what you get. And if you're not sure of what you're going to get, mess around and find out if you want to. But anyway, all out of love and respect. Um, if I haven't said something that you were interested in hearing, stick around. I might just surprise you. And but yeah, as I wind down, again, I thank you for the opportunity of all of you guys coming in to see about me. And again, I hope that what you have received is something that is helpful to you, and that it help you go forward. What is that? So, what is that? So I hope that you guys. All right, I don't know. Something just popped up in the middle of the phone. All right, we have detected activity during a current live. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and end this because I don't know what that meant. So, oh my goodness. All right, so I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. Enjoy your Saturday. Do something fun with your family. Enjoy your family. And until next time, peace.